Hey everybody, my name is Jody Gill, and on the weekends I like to give Adoptee Education. The Gide Foundation is in the season of promoting its very first book, a handbook for birth family reunions, and this is an excellent resource for Korean adoptees who plan to go back to Korea to visit their birth family relatives for the very first time. The cool aspect about this book is it is a collection of more than 100 surveys from Korean adoptees who have already embarked upon this journey. So when I think about this journey for me personally, I begin to think about the bonds between a mother and a baby. And to break it down, it comes to love. I think about that tether being broken between the mom and the baby, and what trauma might exist in us as adoptees. So oftentimes I'll have conversations with my Korean adoptee mothers, and the one common phrase that I hear is, I felt love for the very first time when I had my first child. That to me shows me that that bond is so powerful, not only because it's a mother-child bond, but also because it's the first time that we as adoptees have something that shares the same bloodline as us. It also means to me that if that person is stating they felt love for the very first time, that the definition of love is like yet to be determined, or maybe lost or confused. So me as a mother, I also felt such a powerful bond with my children when I had them, and I think about also what that would be like for the mother and the baby when the tether between the two is broken. Because as a mother, it's such an unnatural break. It's such an unnatural experience. We as adoptees, we are the product of that. That's what we all have in common. Our biological mother and father are our creators. Those are the two people in our lives that are to show us the bonds of a personal relationship. When those are broken, what reservoir of knowledge do we have to pull from when we move forward with our own personal relationships? It's not easy. A lot of times though, as adoptees, we don't really understand how that trauma actually carries through in our personal lives, and it's we're quick to say it's our fault. We just can't do it. We can't figure out how to have personal relationships, because as we try to love, that trauma exists, and it comes in as anger or rage, or short-tempered, or clingy, or running away. Just different things like that, that we probably, if we had just casual conversations, would say, yeah, that's me, yeah, that's me. So I say all this because as we embark on that journey back to see our birth family, I think that's an important element that we think about, is how could our mothers let us go? Because that bond is so powerful. How could they let us go? And then second to that is, what are the effects of that upon us as adoptees that we're now dealing with in our own lives? Going to reunite with your birth family is a big deal, and we want to keep talking about these big deals that exist within our community, so that we can teach other people, and that we can be aware that these things exist, these traumas exist. The emotional journey is something that we all have in common. I mean, personally, it's an area that I've kind of held back in because I know it's going to be messy and potentially painful. But I also know, given this resource, this book to the Korean adoptee community is going to be helpful. The book was made out of compassion so that you would not be alone in the journey. And you know, when you're not alone, there's empowerment there. There's empowerment to keep moving forward, and to own it, to own your journey, and to not have other people like dictate it for you. So we just invite you, just as a community, for your support for the Gide Foundation, with your likes, your shares, your financial support, so that we can continue to do projects just like this out of compassion that help you see, help you be educated, and just to know that you are not alone.